Ashley Burns, and this is my policy speech. Nearly 2/3 of American fourth graders are not reading at a proficient level. According to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, reading scores have steadily declined in recent years, continuing a decade-long downward trend. As you can see in this chart, literacy rates have significantly dropped over time, especially among younger students below 6th grade reading level. This isn't just a number, it represents millions of children struggling to read and comprehend their content, limiting their success across all subjects. This brings us to a broader issue, a national literacy crisis. Across the United States, too many students are falling behind in reading during their earliest years, and that gap continues to grow over time. Research shows that only about 31% of fourth graders are considered proficient in reading, according to Building Literacy Research Analysis in 2022. I argue that state governments must increase targeted funding and improve teacher training for K-6 literacy in order to address this crisis effectively. Specifically, I am proposing a state-mandated literacy funding and instruction reform policy focused on equitable resource distribution, evidence-based teaching, and accountability. Today, I will cover the problem, its causes, and the proposed policy solution. The decline in literacy rates among K-6 students is both very significant and concerning. According to the nation's report card, fourth grade reading scores have dropped 5 points since 2019, highlighting a continuing downward trend nationwide. Early literacy is essential for overall academic success. Reading is not just another subject, it is the foundation for all learning. If a student struggles to read, they also struggle in math, science, and history. Every subject depends on comprehension. The long-term consequences are serious. Students who fall behind in reading are more likely to experience academic failure, repeat grades, or even drop out. Beyond academics, low literacy is linked to reduced job opportunities, lower lifetime earnings, and broader challenges for society, and economically speaking. There are several key stakeholders that are affected by this issue. Students face limited opportunities, parents struggle to support their children, schools are pressured to close achievement gaps, and society experiences long-term economic consequences. Okay, so as shown in this chart, fourth grade reading proficiency has steadily declined over time, emphasizing the urgency of this issue. Understanding the severity of the issue requires examining the underlying reasons behind the decline. One major cause of declining literacy rates is unequal school funding. Underserved districts often lack access to updated books, literacy programs, and instructional resources essential for teaching reading effectively. According to the Hunt Institute, achievement gaps are widening, particularly in underfunded schools. Another key issue is inadequate teacher training. Many educators are not fully trained in evidence-based reading instruction methods supported by research in cognitive science. Without proper preparation, even the most dedicated teachers may struggle to help students develop strong reading skills. Studies in literacy development emphasize that early instruction in phonics and comprehension is critical to building long-term reading proficiency. There is also insufficient early intervention for struggling readers. When students fall behind, they often do not receive targeted support, allowing small gaps to widen over time. Research shows that students who do not receive early support are far more likely to continue struggling through middle school and beyond, according to the Building Literacy Research Analysis in 2022. Current systems also lack consistency. Literacy policies may vary widely from state to state, and many lack clear standards or accountability measures. As the Hunt Institute notes, recovery from reading deficits is uneven and inconsistent, depending on the district and resources available. This visual breaks down a little bit of the general population and how there's funding gaps, the main causes. Funding gaps, teacher training deficiencies, and limited early intervention, all contributing to the larger literacy problem. Because these issues are systemic, an effective solution must be implemented to the state policy level. To address this crisis, I propose a state-mandated literacy funding and instruction reform policy. First, states should allocate targeted literacy grants, prioritizing underserved districts. This ensures that resources are directed where they are most needed. Second, schools should be required to implement evidence-based reading curriculum. Research shows that structured literacy methods improve reading outcomes when consistently applied, especially in early grades, according to the ARC-CEIV Literacy Study in 2024. Third, teacher training must be strengthened through required professional development. Programs focus on effective literacy instruction strategies. In addition, accountability measures are essential. Schools should be able to track literacy progress through regular assessments, and funding should be tied to measurable improvements. So this ensures that policies are not just implemented, but actually effective. Of course, challenges exist. Budget constraints and political resistance may make policy implementation difficult. However, investing in literacy is cost effective in the long term. Early interventions reduce remediation costs, improve graduation rates, and increase lifetime earning potential, benefiting both students and society. So, this model kind of illustrates how funding would be allocated and how the policy would be implemented step by step, showing a clear path from investment to improved outcomes. So, reinforcing that with the right policy in place, literacy outcomes can improve and the issue can be effectively addressed. The decline in literacy rates among K-6 students is not just an educational issue, it is a societal one. Without proper action, students will continue to struggle academically, and society will face long-term economic and social consequences. So, we have examined the problem, explored its causes, and identified a clear and effective solution. So, state governments must take action by increasing literacy funding, improving teacher training, and implementing evidence-based policies that ensure accountability. So, you as an informed individuals can support literacy-focused policies, advocate for education funding, and raise awareness about the importance of early reading development. Because when literacy improves, opportunities expand and society as a whole benefits. Thank you.